Hi, CP Algebra 1. We are on page 73 in your workbook, so look at the bottom right corner to find it. We want to write this in words, so letters first. You always want the letter first. Write this in interval note, or write this in words. So this is basically a number greater than 4. This one is a number less than or equal to, and the reason why we have the equal there is that little one there, -2. This one is a number less than 0. This one is a number greater than or equal to -10. So this one I want to split apart into 2 parts. Okay, so I have this. I'm going to flip this over, flip the sign over as well, and then I'm going to have this written just as is. Okay, because this was put together originally, the word "and" is going to be used. So we're going to say a number greater than -2 and less than, and you want this word in there, less than 4. And I want to split this apart, so this I'm going to rewrite here. Flip the whole thing over, including the sign, and then just write this as is. So this is a number greater than or equal to and equal to 0, and again I want this word "and" in here. This shouldn't be in it. This should be the word "or," and less than 10. So now we're going to look at this on our number line. So I have 0. I just have that as a placeholder. I'm going to put a 4 right here. So because I just have this sign, I want greater than, so it's an open dot and it shades this way. Again, I'm going to put 0 here. I have -2 down here. This is going to be a solid dot. This is a solid dot because I have the equal sign there. So I want values less than, so it shades that way. If I have 0 here, I have an open dot, and I want values less than, so that's to the left. I have 0, I have -10. Okay, so this is going to be a solid dot because I have the equal sign. Shade it to the right. Again, we already broke these apart. So this, if you remember from the previous page, was this and was this. So if I have -2 here, and let's say I have 0 here, I have 4 here. Just try and space it out the right way. So I want an open dot here, an open dot here, because I don't have any equal signs, and I shade in between them. Again, we already did this problem, so we're going to just flip this back over. Oop, it's a 0. Okay, so if I have 0 here and I have 10 here, I'm going to have a solid dot at the 0 because it had the little equal sign, an open dot at the 10, and I shade in between the two. Now I'm going to write these in interval notation. So I'm going to use a soft bracket because I don't have an equal sign, and this goes from 4 to infinity. This is going to the right, so it goes all the way to infinity. This one's going to have a square bracket, okay? But think about it. I wanted values less than, so I'm going to read it from left to right on my number line. So I'm going to go from -infinity to -2, and this is going to have a square bracket. Infinity always has a parenthesis, okay? This one, I'm going to -infinity, so read it left to right, -infinity to 0, soft bracket on the 0 because I don't have an equal sign. This particular problem, I'm going to go from hard bracket, or a square bracket, negative 10 to infinity. And this one, soft brackets have both, and it's just, that's our answer. This one, I have a hard bracket on the 0, because I have the equal sign there, to 10, soft bracket. That's all done. Okay, write the inequality, give the answer in interval notation. So this is x is greater than, oops, cancel, is greater than negative 2. So the interval notation, I have a soft bracket from negative 2 going to infinity, because over here is infinity. This one is going to be x is greater than or equal to 4, or negative 4. The reason it has the equal sign is a solid dot. So I have a hard bracket from negative 4 going to the right, so that goes to infinity. This one I have to realize negative infinity is down this way, so read this left to right. Negative infinity to 0. 0 has a soft bracket because it's an open dot. So greater means bigger or to the right on the number line. This means smaller to the left on number line. Included would mean I'm using a square bracket either direction. Excluded would mean I'm using soft brackets or parentheses. And then is our information, did we have a solid dot with a square bracket in there? It could be either way. Was it an open dot? Did we use parentheses? Do we have parentheses when it's going to infinity? Did we have negative infinity soft bracket? So basically we'd be filling in the number here or here. This would be a less than situation. This would be a greater than situation. Okay, declare the variable in the scenario. Graph the scenario on number line. Write as an inequality and an interval. Okay, temperature of cooked chicken needs to be above 165 degrees. So I want above 165 degrees. So on a number line, you'd have 0 way down here, and this is not to scale. We'd have an open dot going this way. So we have soft bracket 165 to infinity. Now let's face it, we're not going to get to an infinity temperature, but that's just represent. Bank account cannot go below a $50 balance. So how low can I get? Can I have a negative balance? I guess you could. It's called being overdrawn. So we're going to say I want x is less than or equal to 50. So I go to negative infinity to 50, hard bracket, which basically would look like this. If I had 0 here, I had 50 here. I'd have a hard or solid circle there, shading this way to negative infinity. To make money, the varsity team, you have to run the 100-meter dash in under 11 seconds. So under 11 seconds. So I have to run it less than 11. On a number line, it's going to look like this, 0 to 11. Could I have a negative running? The answer is no. So basically, we're going to do that. Okay? So I guess I could have this be a solid dot if I wanted to. And this is going to go to here, an open dot. So we would go our hard bracket at 0 to 11 soft bracket. The number of people on an elevator cannot exceed 12. Well, again, we can have 0 people on an elevator. So let's think about that. And it can't exceed 12. So it can't be above 12. So on our number line, it's going to look like this. Solid dots on each, shade in between them. And the interval notation would be square bracket 0 to square bracket 12. And ask me if you have more questions about that. So our assignment for next time, why don't you go ahead and do page 75 and 76. Do all of them. Have a nice day. Take care of one another.